Hello, one and all, and welcome on this Friday evening to UFRL, where we have a pre-season testing event, which hopefully will be living up to the billing for some Friday night entertainment. I am your commentator tonight. We'll leave the name for privacy reasons, but yes, welcome to Azerbaijan. This is the first of two races tonight that we will be doing. So yeah. Just let me get everything in check. But yeah, this is UFRL pre-season testing. I believe we have two races tonight. The first obviously around the Baku City Street Circuit in Azerbaijan. The second will be around I believe the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, which hosts normally, of course, the Canadian Grand Prix. But enough about all that. Let's focus on some action. Let's start with gatekeeper 3756 in the McLaren. In fact, let's ride on board with him going through turn 2 there, just missing the apex slightly, but for a first qualifying run, I don't think that's too much harm done there. Now raging towards turn 3, a corner where we have seen many accidents over the past few years, with Sergei Sorokin, for example, crashing there in 2018, then going through turns 4, and this is where the first sector ends, and this is where the track starts to get really tight, which gatekeeper 3756 is about to learn. Right, is soon to be followed by the castle section, but gatekeeper 3756 almost didn't get there. He lit up the rear tyres and almost spun himself into the wall, but he negotiates the castle section very finely indeed. This probably won't be the quickest lap of the McLaren's session. He surely will improve, but it seems like a good baseline so far. Now, of course, this is short qualifying, so we only have the one qualifying session in contrast to what you'd normally see in Formula 1 with the three set of qualifying sessions, Q1, Q2 and then Q3. But we're still surely anticipating some very thrilling action on this Friday evening. Kiwi Kai 15 goes quickest on a 1:41.6, but what can this McLaren do about that? He's nearly a second down, but a 42.5, that's still a quite decent lap time. At least that is a lap on the board for the McLaren. We have a Mercedes encountering some problems. The Mercedes looks to have retired from the session. In fact, let's now ride on board with Nathan X99. He opens DRS as the Red Bull and rages down the start-finish straight. He is now the man to beat on a 40.8, nearly a second clear of Kiwi Kai 15 in the Ferrari. And Nathan has really laid down the marker here around the Baku City Street Circuit. Is there anyone else we can turn our attention to? Road Bassoon goes fourth in the Haas on a 43.5. We have RK25 now coming out of the pits, and UFRL Ninja in the Ferrari out on track as well, but he's of course currently out on an out lap. Looks like Ryan 69 in the AlphaTauri has suffered from some damage. You can see the left end plate off the car there. So that is going to certainly lose him aerodynamic performance. But of course, Baku City Street Circuit, there's so many corners and so little runoff. The margins are just so small. To conquer this circuit and to reap the rewards, you are going to have to almost work in synergy with the walls, always lurking from corner to corner and down each straight. And Ryan certainly has not had the best of synergy. with the circuit and the walls so far. They've been waiting and they've found one of its first victims. Okay, 25 and the Aston Martin is soon going to be starting his first tour of the Baku City Street Circuit. If yellow flag's out in sector 3 is... oh no, well, I was going to say possibly that's Nathan coming into the pits. But then, let's get going for RKA 25. Keeping a very, very wide on down the start-finish straight, opening up that first turn. Then he arrives for the second corner, almost kissing the curb there. You don't want to be touching too much of the curb, it would unsettle the car. The Aston Martin has completed the first 2 turns very finely indeed. Then comes turn 3 and soon turns 4. Very smooth start to the lap so far for RK 25. It's a 35.1 from the Aston Martin through the first sector, and that is the quickest we have seen from anyone. RKA 25 really is turning up the heat, and he's leaving the rest to catch him. The Aston Martin has completed the castle section and will start the rage down towards turns 30, 40, and then the very, very tricky turn 15 with numerous crashes there last year. Lance Stroll, Antonio Giovinazzi, Max Verstappen and Charles Leclerc all crashed there last year. But RK25 is on form around the Baku City Street Circuit. He has now completed all 20 corners of the Baku City Street Circuit. He only has the dash towards the line to complete. And in the land of fire, that is a red hot time from RK25, a 139.5. So we have broken into the 139s. And my word, the Aston Martin is a day and a bit clear of the rest. Nathan put in a very solid lap, but RK25 has just sawn past it, and what a pulsating lap that was. It was so smooth, it was so controlled, and it was so quick. UFRL Ninja is improving on his latest tour of the Baku City Street Circuits on the medium compound tyres. And remember, whatever tyre the drivers qualify on in this session, that is the tyre they will start the race with. Ninja goes into 3rd place, 2 seconds down on RK25's time, but of course he's on the medium compound tyres, which is definitely going to be worth a significant amount of the margin. Like I said, UFRL Ninja, by committing seemingly to the medium compound tyres, it means he can extend that first stint in the race. Oh, he's clobbered the wall. UFRL Ninja has, well, probably missed his braking point there and has paid some very pricey consequences. It hasn't brought the end of his session, but that is just not what the Ferrari needs. Though this was probably going to be an in-lap, but, well, again, we are learning that the Baku City Street Circuit bites, and it bites hard. And UFRL Ninja, I was going to say brushing the wall, but that was more than a brush. He's very, very lucky to still be in this session. And obviously he's going to have to come into the pits at the end of this lap. He's lost all of the front wing. And he's just the wall again, I think. The paint workers around the Baku City Street Circuit do not approve of UFRL Ninja's latest tour of this track. Is there anyone on a lap? Road Bassoon in the Haas, 4,000ths down on his initial time through the first sector. Let's see what he can do. Getting very close there to the concrete walls, and now for turn 15, gets it stopped very nicely, does avoid the wall, so maybe he's wary of the nature of Baku City street circuits and doesn't want to quite flirt with the limits just yet. But he is improving, and we'll have to see where he can climb to. It may still be 6th quickest, but you never know. Depends what his first time was through the last sector. Right, the Haas can see the finish line, and he maintains that 6th place. Does improve by quite a bit, but he's very much glued to that 6th spot for the moment. Let's cast our eyes back to X Nathan, X99, and he is a man on a mission. Perfect first sector. Now into the castle section, one of the most problematic and challenging corners on the Formula 1 calendar. Taking a lot of curb there, the Red Bull. And hitting the wall. Be amazed there if he did not sustain any damage. Seems like X-Nathan got away with it. Turn 15 is the latest challenge on this track, which X-Nathan has surpassed. Then comes the end of the 2nd sector, and X-Nathan is improving at quite a vast rate of knots. 6 kilometres this track is made up of. It looks like X-Nathan is soon going to be completing it. It looks like Kiwi Kai has gone for a venture down through the turn to Escape Road. X-Nathan was 2nd, he remains 2nd, still a 2nd down on Arcade 25, so obviously the purple through the sectors obviously was a glitch. And Kiwi Kai's seems like he's waiting there for the Red Bull to pass him before he rejoins the track. Very safe and very nice indeed from the Ferrari. We have just over 4 minutes left of this qualifying session. Nathan on another lap? He might be. Let's ride on board with him once more. We have yellow flags out in Sector 1 and Sectors 2. Possibly brought out by Gatekeeper, I'm not too sure. Oh, Nathan got quite deep there through turn 15. That is going to derail his exit and lap. And yeah, this is not going to be an improvement for the Red Bull. Feast our eyes upon UFRL Ninja's latest qualifying lap. He's up by a 10th through the first sector. He's actually switched now to the soft compound tyres, so you'd expect he'd have a little more pace. Oh, he goes wide there. Does the Ferrari. Carried a little too much speed into the apex of the corner. That compromised his exit severely. There's been no hairy moments from the Ferrari so far on this lap. And soon he will near the end of Sector 2. You can see the capabilities of the modern Formula 1 car in the braking there towards turn 15. Carrying such speed there and braking suddenly, but UFRL Ninja probably didn't get the braking performance that he wanted to through turn 16. That's despite a very promising middle sector, and he loses the rear. UFRL Ninja almost had a massive moment there, and the concrete walls were ready to claim a victim, but UFRL Ninja resisted that temptation, and he manages to continue on his lap and improves, but maintains that 4th place still. wide there for Ryan. Okay, Ninja's on another lap then, so he's fueled himself for quite a lengthy amount of time. And Ryan has gone deep through turn 15, I believe, and he's retired from the session. So let's ride on board with Ninja once more. He's invalidated his lap time. That's such a shame there for Ferrari. So he's thrown away his latest attempt, and he may have one more try. Right then, what can RK25 do to cement his place at the front of the grid? Getting very close there to the outside walls on the exit of turn 2. But this could be a tour de force from the Aston Martin, who has been in complete control of this qualifying session from the very first moment. He's on provisional pole by over a second. He looks to extend that margin. And through the first sector, it looks like he's going to over a 10.5 clear of his original pole position or pole time. RK25 is in the mood, he's in the groove, and there is simply no one that can stop him right now. Now entering the castle section there. Seems to take lots of curve, and he's just so precise, is he? The Aston Martin on the front end. And that is what this league, what UFRL will look for in the best drivers. He is demonstrating his driving ability. The richness of his speed is for everyone to see, and he is demonstrating that. A quarter of a second clear of his original time through the first 2 sectors, and nearing the conclusion of his lap. This is going to be a piece of artwork from the Aston Martin. This man is on form and around of the land of fire. This man is on fire too. He opens DRS, he chases the checkered flag, and he improved to a 139.4. Nobody can stop the Aston Martin today. In qualifying, and the Ferrari's just had an enormous accident, thundering into the concrete wall and bringing an end to qualifying. Oh, that was a severe moment there for the Ferrari. And that had very, very severe consequences too. So then, a dramatic end to our short qualifying session, and it's RKA25 who starts from pole position around the Baku City Street circuit. He was just imperious, wasn't he? Ex-Nathan is second. Then comes Kiwi Kai in third, UFRL Ninja fourth. Then comes Gatekeeper Rogue Bassoon, Ryan in seventh, and then we have Alien Caribou 81. That was a terrible pronunciation. And then Arborwood 88 in ninth. So then, so many unknowns heading into this. We know that RK25 is easily the quickest out of the group so far, but qualifying is one thing, racing is another. We are nearing the first race of the night. Hope wherever you are looking forward to this event. I certainly am. I'm not too sure if there's going to be a formation lap. I guess we will see. Yeah, we're going to have a formation lap. Okay then. And as our eyes cast to the drivers on their formation lap, I'm just going to take a quick break, but I will be back with you before the start of the first race of the night. So then, RK25, well, is been on a very hot formation lap. He's now allowing the rest of the pack to catch up to him. He doesn't want to be sitting on the grid for too long as his tyres cool down to an insufferable temperature. But yeah, I am very excited for this event. I hope any of you that are watching are too. Like I said, we have a lot of questions to be answered. We have a lot of, or tons of ability to be registered. And yeah, UFRL is hopefully in for a very promising, exciting season thanks to these drivers that we are seeing out on track. So then, you can see there the predicted pit stop strategy as Arborwood 88 now lines in formation. We have nearly all 9 drivers on the grid. RK25 was imperious. He was peerless in qualifying. What can he do on race day? One of the most challenging circuits on the Formula 1 calendar is about to test our drivers for this pre-season event. We are underway. It's a good start there from Nathan. He immediately slots in behind RK25 as they dash towards turn 1. It's a great start for the Aston Martin, who maintains the lead. We have a spinner. Alien Carb Bayou's gone for a spin, and that is not the start to the race that he needed. Oh, we have a massive coming together there. Road Bassoon is the second has to encounter troubles, and he is out of this race through turn 2. His Baku City street circuit venture in this race has lasted a mere 2 corners, and drama from the get-go here in Azerbaijan. And it's been a disaster for Haas right at the start. Looks like the Haas actually came together with Gatekeeper, but yeah, he must have been spun round because he was facing backwards, was the Haas. So, a very peculiar incident there, but not one that he will be pleased about whatsoever. But RK25 got a very clean start and he maintained the lead ahead of Nathan X99, Kiwi Kai and UFRL Ninja are amongst the drivers that maintained position within the top 4. Arborwood started 9th, now runs 5th, gaining 4 places at the start. Then comes Ryan in 6th. Gatekeeper lost a couple of places. Then comes Alien Cover. I cannot pronounce, honestly. Gatekeeper has now retired from the session. So, has he crashed? Has he just rage? Oh, I doubt he rage quit. Let's have a look. Oh, has he crashed? He's a long way. I'm pretty sure he would have crashed because that car wouldn't be there in that position. And now a second Haas has encountered quite substantial damage, and he also does retire from the session. Now we are getting drivers coming into the pits, and Nathan has crashed into the pits, and Kiwi Kai has been collected. Absolute pandemonium in the pits, and within a space of a lap, we have lost 4 of our 9 drivers. Wow, Baku City Street Circuit normally provides drama, but Not normally something this puzzling. So it looks like ex-Nathan99 came into the pits, he hit the wall, Kiwi Kai flew in straight behind him, and obviously surprised by Nathan's accident prior to that moment. He crashed into the Red Bull. That's, wow, very, very puzzling. We were hoping to see drivers remain in this race so we can decipher their abilities, but, well, for Ford drivers, they have lost that opportunity around the Baku City Street circuits. Hopefully they will be back for the second race tonight around the Circuit Jules Villeneuve. But yeah, that is not the race that they wanted. We are now down to 5 drivers. And yeah, I am as puzzled as anyone, to be completely honest. I'm not too sure how many people are watching the stream, but yeah, very, very puzzling. But it looks like, well, RK25, ex-Nathan and Ryan did come into the pits, so it means UFRL Ninja leads the race behind the safety car ahead of Arborwood 88, who, let's quickly note, started last. In Formula 1 history, nobody has started from last place and gone on to win the race. I think John Watson achieved a victory in, I'm tempted to say 82, around Long Beach. Dallas perhaps. He started from something like 21st or 23rd. So, yeah, Formula 1 may not have the statistics that UFRL is going to be acknowledging very soon, but, you know, pre-season testing, there are so many things to be tested, and the drama is certainly being tested, and it's, wow, coming back very positive, but not for the 4 drivers that have already retired from the race. Road Bassoon, Gatekeeper, Alien Caribbean, I apologise to all these drivers, my pronunciation is very weak. And Kiwi Kai also retired from the session. We are now on lap 3 of 13 around the Baku City Street circuit, with our remaining 5 drivers weaving behind the safety car, trying to get temperature into the tyres. And particularly around the street track, it can be incredibly punishing to those that haven't got their tyres in the right window, not only for speed, but for avoiding the walls. As we have already established, the Baku City Street circuit is notorious for claiming its victims. This is already acclaimed a notable amount already in this event, not only in the Grand Prix that we are currently watching, but the qualifying session that unfolded about 5 minutes ago. I do wonder if this race is going to get underway by the end of this lap. We shall know very soon if the safety car is going to peel off into the pits. I'm going to guess it is. We'll see if my genius is almost frightening. Sorry, that was a terrible joke. Yes, it is almost frightening. The safety car is going to come into the pits and we're going to get our racing back underway. UFRL Ninja will lead the race ahead of Arborwood 88. No overtaking before the start-finish line. So he will lead the race going into lap 4. But timing is everything. RK25, who led this race from pole, who has made his one and only mandatory pit stop. So, well, he's in a very healthy position. Ooh, and you can see Arborwood eager to get going. He peels off into the pits too, but we're back underway here at the Baku City Street Circuit. UFRL Ninja leads from RK25. Wonder what on earth happened to Arborwood there. Yeah, he's actually clipped the throw, so he's going to have to change his front wing. That's, well, has really thrown him out of contention. He's really going to be praying for a safety car. Ryan's crashed. Ryan's, well, I assume he's crashed, unless he's just gone down the escape road. We have yellow flags out in Sector 1, of course, that's where he crashed. I'm just trying to detect, did he crash? Oh, yeah, I assume he has. But let's cast our eyes back to the battle for the lead. RK25 is, well, the leading driver that's made their pit stop. So he's basically in the lead of this race once UFRL Ninja makes his pit stop. But the longer the Ferrari can keep the Aston Martin behind, the better, of course. Top three separated by about a second, less than a second for the moment, as they venture off into turn 15. Drivers taking no liberties on the exit of that corner, not brushing the concrete barrier or wall at all. But the Aston Martin here has a very good opportunity to seize the lead of this race. That Ferrari rear wing is getting larger and larger, metre by metre, and that may be a distant memory for RK25. He has the speed down the straight, he has the fresher tyres, and surely he is going to have the lead of this race. RK25 breezes past UFRL Ninja, and into turn 1 he holds the lead. The Ferrari getting out wide very slightly there, but now in the dirty air of the Aston Martin, may be affected by that, but gets a very compromised exit off of turn 2. Nathan, X99, is chasing him down into turn 3, but he's not able to make an impression on this latest turn. And if Nathan wants to win this race, he's going to have to pass that Ferrari as soon as is humanly possible. RK25 has the speed and is going to strengthen his hold on this race. And Nathan, X99, is clipped the Ferrari of UFRL Ninja. He is out of this race. The Red Bull has most probably damage. Yes, he does. Left end plate damage. And we're now down to 3 drivers. It is turning out to be an incredible race of attrition here at the Baku City Street Circuit. Arborwood has now passed UFRL Ninja. And we now have a safety car, the second safety car. And we've only, well, completed 4 laps, currently on lap 5. Wow. So out of 9 drivers that started this race, we're down to 3. We are down to 3. Next, Nathan has now lost his front wing in its entirety. So he's definitely going to be pitting this lap. And it may not be a bad idea because he will want to put those soft compound tyres back on, but he has a drive-through for speeding under the safety car. That is an incredibly irritating unforced error for him, which is just going to play into the hands of RK25, who's been dominant from the get-go and will most probably be dominant until the end. We now have another flummoxing moment here as Nathan has now clipped RK25. He's going to have damage again to his front wing. And this is proving a problematic couple of laps for Nathan, which has just got even worse. He's slammed into the wall at the castle section and he has written off his front wing. That's now a multitude of unforced errors there from the Red Bull. He clipped UFRL Ninja, he's clipped RK25, and he's now made contact with the Mercedes of Arborwood. What on earth is going on here? Absolutely speechless there. Nathan has, wow, left the session. But, wow, it's been a very, very problematic string of laps there for the Red Bull. And now, basically, we are down to 2 drivers now because, well, unless Nathan's just lost connection and will be back. Hopefully he will. But, yeah. Okay, now Arborwood is coming into the pits. Oh, my word. He got fractionally close there to the pit wall. And now he has a time penalty for speeding. He's also going to be changing his front wing. Nathan's coming into the pits as well to change his front wing. I'm surprised he's on the medium compound. I'm surprised the game's put him on the medium compound tyres because he's already run them. And it just is better to go on the softs because we don't actually have that much of the race left. Yeah. Wow. What a flummoxing race we have been witnessing so far. RK25 has not been able to exercise his dominance in this race. He hasn't been able to pull out such massive margins. We've had 2 safety cars in the space of 7 laps. But he is keeping his cool. And out of all the drivers so far that have participated in this race, he's the one that's emerged damage-free. Okay then, for the second time in this race, the safety car is coming into the pits at the end of this lap. The Aston Martin of RK25 becomes the de facto safety car. Now, with this being such a long straight, he doesn't really want to give any advantage to the drivers behind. He doesn't want them to get a slipstream off him, which could perhaps give them the net lead of the race. But RK25 has the speed. He doesn't have the penalties. And now he has got us going once again here around the Baku City street circuits. He's weaving this way, that way, and trying to maintain the lead of the race. And you can see there afterwards, lighting up the rear tyres on the exit of turn 2. Probably took a bit too much curb as well. That again, there was a hairy moment there for the Mercedes. As you can see, RK25 stretching that lead corner by corner, metre by metre. It'd be hard to bet against RK25 taking victory. He's been in such serene form so far today. And with just about 5.5 laps left to go, it seems like it is his race to lose. Stretching that gap towards a second is RK25. So he's going to do his best to keep himself in contention, but, well, I think the Aston Martin may just have the legs on him. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. We've still got enough of this race left for this two-way battle to materialise into something unexpected. Let's hope it does. Let's hopefully get some more wheel-to-wheel action. These are the last 2 remaining drivers of this race. Nathan is not able to return to the session. Now going down the incredibly long start-finish straights. Don't think the Aston Martin's going to come under any pressure. He just has such a substantial gap. Even the slip effect of the slipstream isn't going to be enough to bring Arborwood into play. But after starting ninth, he's kept out of trouble enough to remain in this race and run P2. Very applaudable effort there from Mercedes, but again he gets Larry off of the exit of turn 2, and that compromises him once more. The gap is around a second. It fluctuates here and there, corner by corner, but it seems like RK25 has this race in his hands. But it really is going to become a race of attrition. Can the Mercedes put the Aston Martin under enough pressure to make him crack under the pressure? So far they've been quite evenly matched since the restart. I know obviously it's only been one and a bit laps, but RK25 had such a dominant advantage through qualifying that you would think that he may be able to replicate that in the race, but it hasn't been so. The speed is certainly there from both though. And if these drivers are to be signed up for UFRL season, let's hope they treat us to some many magical moments which will be brought to you here live on Twitch. And wherever or whenever you are watching this, I hope you are enjoying it. It's not the race that we expected, with 7 of the 9 drivers not seeing it to the end. I know obviously there are 3 cars out on track, but Nathan's had to go for one reason or another, according to the Discord server. So we respect him for that, but we cast our eyes to the battle for the lead. RK25 sets the fastest lap of the race, the 1:42.1. DRS has now been enabled, but this will not come into effect for the Mercedes as he's over a second behind the Aston Martin, who leads this race. Arborwood has brought that gap down to just shy of 7/10 of a second. If he manages to keep within a second through this section of track, he has a very promising chance to take the lead out on track. He does have a time penalty. I believe it's 5 seconds. Sorry. Detail. 5 seconds. Yes, it is 5 seconds. Yeah, I think the Mercedes might have his chance to overtake the Aston Martin. He is surely going to be having DRS down the start-finish straights. You can see that Aston Martin getting closer and closer and closer. He's going to have DRS. He'll have the slipstream. Will he have the lead of this race? I don't think he will, but now he opens DRS. He's going to be hunting down the Aston Martin for P1. Now for turn 1 there. It looks like the Aston Martin got a little bit wide there, but you haven't really lost any time. The Mercedes will once more have DRS down this straight, and he does seem to have a better exit than the Aston Martin. Arborwood has struggled through this apex for the last couple of laps, but he manages to have tamed that challenge this time round. But he's not close enough once again to make an impression on the Aston Martin through turn 3. And his next chance, surely again, is going to have to come down the pit straight. It's been a commendable effort from both here at the Baku City Street Circuit. My word, Arborwood was late on the brakes there through turns 5. He really has closed that gap. He looks the quicker of the 2 drivers so far, and he has really turned on the heat around the land of fire. All but struggling there through the castle section. Seems to be going offline there, and the Aston Martin's managed to extend that advantage to over 9/10 as the Mercedes lost his chance to possibly inquire about taking the lead of the race. Well, the Aston Martin seems to struggle there through turn 15, and the Mercedes is back into play. That gap is now under a second, as it was about 20 seconds before. Once again, the Mercedes man will have DRS. But is it going to be enough to launch a credible enough challenge into turn 1? Was he outside the... Oh, has he got DRS? Yes, he has. So I couldn't see there from the seemingly bird's eye view of the two drivers. But we have 2 laps remaining. 2 laps, 2 drivers. It's only 1 winner in this race. This pre-season race has been unexpected. It has thrown up some drama, and it has thrown up a decent battle for the race for P1. Arborwood has not let go of the Aston Martin. He still has him in his sights. With a time penalty of 5 seconds being applied at the end of this race for the Mercedes man. Looks like RK25 is going to convert pole position into the race win. All the Mercedes getting wide once more, throwing the car onto the curb and perilously close to the concrete wall. Like I said already before, in this race, these 2 drivers have been quick enough and hopefully will have their name amongst the list of drivers for UFRL. And it certainly will be the case if they can uphold this quality of driving. The Aston Martin's got a very, very poor exit off of the last braking zone of the track. So then, we have just over 6 kilometres of this race left. It comes down to the final lap. We can see the 2 leaders within the same picture, but the driver in second does have a time penalty, so that is certainly going to define much of the result. But can Arborwood get close enough to take the win on track, or is the Aston Martin going to keep his cool under immense pressure in this race? Arborwood is closing in on the Aston Martin. They're making a dash towards turn 3, but he's not close enough. He's been quick, as Arborwood, but hasn't been quick enough in the right places to seize the lead off of the Aston Martin. Turns 5 and 6. Seems like the Aston Martin is struggling, but Arborwood just is not close enough. He's almost shoving the Aston Martin through the corners, and he's getting very, very close to the Aston Martin through the exit of the corners. But RK25 has it at arm's length for the moment. Only 2 braking zones remain for these 2 drivers who have put on a decent show here around the Baku City Street circuit. RK25 though clobbers the wall. He may have sustained a bit of damage there. No, he's got away with it, but he's taken so much cover, he's vulnerable to Arborwood off of the exit and now down towards the start-finish line. The checkered flag will be in sight for these 2 drivers, but who will come out on top on track? RK25 was dominant in qualifying. He's having to weave from left to right to preserve the race win out on track. But he's going to do enough for the Aston Martin to take victory around the Baku City Street circuit. Pole position becomes the race win for this man who has been, well, just better than the rest here at the Baku City Street circuit today. And well, that is a win for the Aston Martin, who now celebrates on the podium and soaks in his sensation. A very, very promising drive there from the Aston Martin. Yeah. So let's have a look at our finishing order. Your retirement from the race: Road Bassoon, Gatekeeper, Alien Caribou, Kiwi Kai, Ryan, and UFRL Ninja. And your finishers, I say finishers, ex-Nathan has had to go, but he technically finishes 3rd. but Arbor finishes second. But your race winner, RKA25, who has got his evening off to a very fine start, will hope to translate that into the second race tonight. Don't go anywhere, we still have a plethora of action to bring you here at UFRL. So then, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, one of the most storied tracks currently on the Formula One calendar, Canada having made its debut, I believe, on the F1 calendar in 1978, as Gilles Villeneuve won his first race there. Since Canada has produced some of the most legendary races around this track, think back to 2011, 2007, 2008. 2014. I'm just having to think of more flipping heck. 98. That was a very historic Grand Prix for. Was it Alexander Wurz that tumbled over through the first corner or through this section of track? I think it was 99, obviously, with Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve, and Michael Schumacher all crashing at the Wall of Champions. But yeah. Canada, the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, one of the most loved tracks on the Formula One calendar. It has the characteristics of a high-speed track, but also a street circuit. The walls are waiting. The gravel traps are grinding out every inch of aggression from the drivers. And that is what makes this track so very loved. Heading towards the casino hairpin, seen to, well, the horror crash that was Robert Kubica's crash in 2007. But on the exit, which not many people know, but this section of track here used to be the pit lane, or the paddock. That's where the start-finish line was, and, well, this bit of track has been revised through the years. This part used to be a chicane that led onto a straight, which led into another chicane. So the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has evolved through the years, but it is still that same iconic image, same iconic track that us fans absolutely adore still to this day. Formula One cannot wait to have this track back on the calendar in a few months' time, but let's see how our drivers can tackle it. Gatekeeper 3756 is going to be the first driver to properly tackle this track on a hot lap. You can see there through the end of Sector 1, where Lance Stroll and Brendan Hartley had a thundering accident in 2018, but Gatekeeper making contact with the concrete wall there certainly hasn't fared the best off of the exit of turn 6. My track map somewhere. But yeah, Gatekeeper at the end of Sector 2, a 43.3. That's promising. That is promising, but now he's going to come down the DRS straight and heading towards turns 13 and 14 and that perilous Wall of Champions. How's he going to negotiate it? Seems to take he's taken a very, very sensible line there, not wanting to throw the car so much that the walls are so incredibly close. But it's a 1:12.4 there for the McLaren. Very representative lap time, but to the extent of how representative it is, we will answer that very soon. Arborwood now is going to cross the line, and he goes quicker by almost a second from Gatekeeper. So in fact, that time from McLaren wasn't that competitive at all. RK25 was brilliant around the Baku City Street circuit. Wow, 1.8 seconds is the gap to second place, and RK25 has carried on that form around Azerbaijan onto the tarmac of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and is making a very, very strong point tonight. He is a force to be reckoned with. Haas is not making it easy though for him to get past. We have yellow flags out in Sector 3. It's where Gatekeeper is going through at the moment. He is slowing down quite substantially, I must admit. Luke Kenobi's, had his lap time invalidated, so let's probably not focus too much attention on him for the moment. Arborwood's not going to be improving on his latest lap. How about RK25? Alien Carberry's had a problem through the casino hairpin. RK25 isn't going to be improving. He peels off into the pits. Anyone on a time at the moment? No, but there'll be a couple of drivers soon. It's getting a bit confusing there between the drivers. Okay, so we have, I'm going to call him Alien just to save me the embarrassment of pronunciation. We have Alien and, Luke Kenobi will be going in a sec. He's lagging quite a bit. Let's follow his progress around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Yeah, he's lagging quite a bit. That is quite irritating, I must admit. But soon he'll come. He's invalidated his lap time. Now that is a shame. So we'll now turn our attention to Alien in the Haas. It's a 23 flat through the first sector, but he got all out of sorts there, coming to the end of Sector 1, and he has, ruined what could have been a decent lap time. We won't really know, but, that's not what he wants. Okay, Luke Kenobi's retired from the session. Has he crashed? That camera angle didn't really pick that up that well. Let's have a look. I'll have to ride on board with the throw and hope that Mercedes is still there to get a definitive answer. Yeah, he has crashed when Mercedes has found the wall. Rogersoon has planted his Haas into 4th place. And then Alien has found the Wall of Champions, which has claimed its first victim tonight. Now wanted to keep out of the way, and we know the challenge that the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve presents. Alien has just learnt it in a very severe way. His teammate has brought up the yellow flags and is finding the wall. see Kiwi Kai's latest tour of the circuit Gilville. Oh, he's invalidated this lap. We want to see some drivers pushing. We want to see them on laps that are going to be representative and registered on the leaderboard. Flags now in sector 3. It's Road Bassoon who's going rather slowly. Right, okay, Kiwi Kai. He has not set a lap time so far in this session. So what can he do this time? Last time out he had his lap invalidated, but car number 15 is ready to attack at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve with all the speed he possesses and all the ability he beholds. Severe amount of understeer there for the Ferrari. But it is purple through sector 1. Now wandering towards the casino hairpin. Takes a very wide line and goes in way too deep, does the Ferrari. But as he plants the power down and will soon open DRS, he has one more chicane and a wall to negotiate through. And that will be his lap completed. Kiwi Kai gets through the first part of the chicane. He gets through the second part of the chicane, and now it's just a dash towards the line. 1.7 seconds down on RKA 25, but it is a front row start for the moment for the Ferrari. RKA 25 is now resuming his quest for pole position and is ready, surely, to make it 2 poles out of 2 here tonight. Now towards turn 6 and turn 7, he's improved through the first sector. His grip on this pole position is getting more and more firm by the corner, but he's now invalidated his lap time and has found the wall. Took way too much curve, lit the rear tyres up, and has ruined what was set to be a blistering lap. Gatekeeper is not improving through the first sector, but let's see how we can fare through the remainder of this lap. He has completed 9 turns at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve so far, and well, is improving through the middle sector. You can see how hot those brakes are getting in the McLaren. The circuit Gilles Villeneuve very demanding on the brakes, of course. We saw the McLaren of Lando Norris retiring thanks to his brakes melting the suspension in 2019. Okay, Arvold is going incredibly slowly through the first sector, but Gatekeeper has completed all 14 turns of this track and has slotted his McLaren into 3rd place, improving by almost 3/4 of a second. But it's still 1.8 seconds down on RK25, who, well, you run out of superlatives for his qualifying speeds. It is just serene. It is just matchless. It is just peerless. Alien now through the first few corners, taking a very precarious line, which is not going to be the quickest route, as he puts down the power. And now entering turns 3 and 4. In the first sector, he's improved. Oh, actually, no, this is his first lap time, sorry, but he's gone so deep. And that does hinder his progress. UFRL Ninja. He spun out of contention in the first race. He is going to be on a mission to claw back what might have been from the first race, but it's been held up there by Alien to the exit of the casino hairpin. And that does him no favours whatsoever. Haas really is not getting out of this way, which is just not what you want to see, really. You want to see the Ferrari completing his lap. And he does invalidate his lap time through the final chicane and has found the wall, taking way too much curb there, maybe angered by being held up by the Haas, but the Ferrari has found the end of his session and has found it in the wall. John Bradshaw, 4.37. Don't believe he was racing in the first race, but he's racing here right now, so let's see how he fares. He emerges from the first sector with a 20.2. That's a very, very respectable first sector there for the Red Bull. He opens DRS and will make that rage towards turn 8 and 9, but goes in incredibly deep there, which is not going to help him whatsoever, but he manages to keep it on the island and emerge unscathed. He's a little bit too deep, just slightly off one, but nothing too concerning there for the Red Bull, who with just over 4 minutes left is about to set what should be a very promising lap time. Now into the final chicane, which has proved a problem for many of the drivers so far, and it's been a problem now for the Red Bull too. He's had his lap time invalidated. What was going to be in a 1:11.9, so would have put him 5th, turns into nothing, which is a shame there for him. Again, we have nobody out on track doing representative lap times for the moment, so I'm going to take another quick break, but make sure that you can still see the action on your screen. We have just under 3.5 minutes left of qualifying, and we still have positions to be set. Someone has encountered trouble through the second sector. Is it Gatekeeper? It's this yellow flags that have been brought out in Sector 2. Okay, doesn't seem like much has come to that. Rogue Bassoon is currently in 5th place. He's ahead of his teammate Alien, who hasn't really set a representative lap time so far. So let's ride on board with the Haas, who has suddenly seen the end of his session, losing the rear and mangling his Haas into the concrete wall in a pretty horrifying impact. The flags understandably brought out in Sector 1. Okay, RK25 is not improving and he's had his lap invalidated, so this isn't going to count for him. What can Gatekeeper do now? He sits in 3rd, does the McLaren. And RK25 not improving. How close can he get to pole position? I think Rogue Bassoon may have had some trouble through the final chicane, and he will not participate any further in this session. But yeah, let's just stick with Gatekeeper, who's improving through the first sector. Does currently sit in 3rd place, but he looks to improve that position. But by how much can he improve? Wow, the answer at the moment is 1/1000th of a second. He is hunting down Kiwi Kai for that front row spot, but is he going to earn it? For what will probably be his last attempt in qualifying, what can he do? Kiwi Kai has actually retired from the session. He's encountered trouble through the second sector, but Gatekeeper has his lap invalidated, so he, for the moment, will stay in third. Arborwood's improving, well, so much through the first sector there. He's on for a definite improvement. RK25 is improving too. Even a driver of his calibre has been caught out by the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and that is why we love this track. RK25 negotiates the casino hairpin for the last time in qualifying and looks to increase that gap out in front. It currently stands at a mega 1.7 seconds, but is he going to improve even further? He sits on a 1.9.5. He does hit the wall through the final corner, but he doesn't encounter too much damage. And it's a 1.9.2. He's 2 seconds quicker than the rest of the game is the Aston Martin. He has simply been sensational today. As RK25 pole in the first race, winning the first race, and definitely pole around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve too. He's on pole by 2 seconds. That is ludicrous. That is absolutely ludicrous from the Aston Martin, who has been in a league of his own when it comes to one lap pace. And well, fair play to him. Of course, this is only a pre-season event, but to the drivers of UFRL, watch out. RK25 is quite something. So then, I believe that is our order for the second race. Everyone is now in the pits, so we have our order. RK25 again starts from pole. Kiwi Kai 15 joins him on the front row, but 2 seconds, more than 2 seconds down on the Aston Martin. Gatekeeper third for McLaren, followed by Arborwood, who finished second last race. Then we have Rogue Bassoon in fifth in his home race for Haas, followed by Alien in sixth. Then comes John Bradshaw, Luke Kenobi, and UFRL Ninja rounds off the pack in ninth. To be fair, if you look at the gap between second and fourth, just over 1/10 of a second separates those 3 drivers. So we do have a competitive pack, but we also have someone that is, well, demonstrably quick. And as we near the formation lap, we have rain falling around the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. What became a mega challenge of just the circuit Gilles Villeneuve has just got that much trickier. But as we learned in Formula 1 earlier today, drivers are tested and it does provide drama when the rain does fall. So yeah, the formation lap is nearly underway, and we'll soon have our second race get going. Oh my word, how many drivers are on the slick tyres? Absolutely everyone is on the slick compound tyres. I am dumbfounded by that. It seems like the rain is just too much for the dry compound tyres, but the drivers believe that they have a sufficient amount of grip to negotiate the circuit Gilles Villeneuve and upholding the pace on these slick tyres. So, well, this is going to be quite something. Ever searched those videos on YouTube of the challenges? Dry tyres on a wet track? Well, we're about to test that in a race, in an online race, a pre-season race to test the driver's abilities, and my word, they are being tested. So then, drivers are going to form up on the grid, form in formation for the start of this race. RK25 once more leads the pack, but can he translate pole into victory once more? So many challenges lie ahead, so many questions are ready to be answered around the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, and we are in for a treat. Lights are coming on for the drivers around the Canadian Grand Prix circuit. We are underway, and there's been a massive coming together, faux pas amongst the pack at the start, and a collision that has seen John Bradshaw retire from the race instantaneously. The virtual safety car has come out, and you can see that Arbour was overtaking Kiwi car in RK25, but my word, what happened there? That was a very perturbing incident. And we have drivers, what on earth is going on here? We have drivers slowing down and damage being sustained. This is absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. You'd think that the drivers would be going at a certain speed, but they're slowing down, compromising one another and creating damage. And that's just not what you really want to see from our drivers. And we have yet more damage there as Rogue Bassoon careers into the back of Kiwi Kai, who also careers into the back of another car, and a safety car has been brought out. Another puzzling lap one. We now have the Aston Martin of RK25 slowing down. This must be a glitch. There must be troubling glitches around the track. And yeah, wow. John Bradshaw literally didn't get going before he crashed. And Rogue Bassoon and Kiwi Kai crashing at the end of Sector 1, bringing out the safety car, but we obviously got to uncover a lot of the truths that lie behind it, whether there was glitches or whether there was just inanity behind the driver's intentions. But yeah, it's not what you want to see. A third of our field has been wiped out within the first lap, and the drivers peel off into the pits. I assume for intermediate compound tyres, but we'll have to see. We will have to see. They don't think the weather constitutes the intermediate compound tyres, so the track obviously is dry enough. Yeah, the safety car has been brought out after, wow, faux pas at the start line and faux pas really across the lap. Drivers slowing down here, there and everywhere and causing major damage. Gatekeeper 3756 leads after starting third, but the fast that was the first lap is now over, and hopefully we will get some racing going very soon. So then we begin lap 3 under the safety car here around the circuit. Gilles Villeneuve crashes across the circuit on lap 1. A sea of debris meant that the safety car has been brought out. Luke Kenobi jumps up into 5th places. Alien comes into the pits for the intermediate compound tyre. So someone at last is taking the risk on the intermediates. It does seem like the rain has intensified in the last few moments. So what is the rest of the pack going to do? Now, if the rest of the pack pits, the Haas is going to have the lead of the race, because he's going to close up to the pack that are slowing down under the safety car and overtake them when these drivers pit. But if this current circuit condition favours the dry tyres, the Haas is in deep trouble. The safety car is going to come in at the end of this lap, so we will have green flag running imminently. The Aston Martin safety car will race towards the pits as our drivers will soon get going. Arthurwood there being very experimental with his generating temperature in his tyres, and he's lost his front wing. So as we get going, Arthurwood has just compounded what has been a very sorry state so far as the safety car. I don't imagine it's... No, the safety car, I thought it was staying out there. The safety car is in, green flag running has got going, and we are underway once more. RK25, who started from pole and has had a problematic race so far, is hunting down P2. We can see the Ferrari getting closer and closer, and they're struggling for grip, and they almost touch. They almost touched there, but they managed to get through there unscathed. Arthurwood now pits for the medium compound tyres, but Luke Kenobi has pitted for the, is on the intermediates. Alien is struggling out on track, and Luke Kenobi also spins, so the intermediate runners are not faring well. And Mercedes getting in a spin here, there, and everywhere. RK25 gets past Ninja in the Ferrari and has 2nd place in his hands. Luke Kenobi now retires from the session, so his what could have been a promising intermediate run lasted barely seconds. We have now 4 runners remaining in this race, but RK25 has had a blistering safety car restart. As we near the start of lap 5 of this race around the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve, he is once more in the mood as the McLaren gets wide through the final corner. And RK25 almost kilometres into the rear of him, but he's going to have the exit down the start-finish straight to make the move into turn 1 and seize back the lead at the Canadian Grand Prix circuit. He inherits the lead from a mistake from the McLaren, and what was going to possibly be a problematic race for the Aston Martin has just turned into one that maybe doesn't look so bad. He now runs in the lead ahead of the McLaren. UFRL Ninja runs 3rd. Arthurwood runs 4th, a distance way back from the rest of the pack. We are on lap 5 of 18 here around the circuit. Gilles Villeneuve. Drama at the start, racing at the safety car restart. And yeah, this has probably already been a better race than the first Baku race. Although we only have 4 drivers left, at least we're getting some degree of racing. This field is spreading out. The Ferrari getting very close there to the concrete wall. Thankfully he escapes damage, and he's taking a very inventive line through the final chicane there, and rightly gets a penalty. RK25 is cementing his lead out in front. A 1:18.2 is the fastest lap of the race so far, and a 2.6 second lead is all that he could ask for. The battle for 2nd place out on the track is between Gatekeeper and Ninja, but well, it's not really coming to anything at the moment. The drivers are separating And all the Ferrari getting very leery off of the exit there of turn 7. And he almost found the concrete wall and sustained damage, but he managed to emerge from it scot-free. But he has dropped to 3.4, 3.5 seconds behind Gatekeeper now. And his pursuit of second place has taken a major hit. Oh, and Gatekeeper, though, has spun. He's lit up the rears on the exit of the casino hairpin, and he now loses second place. Arborwood's actually going to be closing on him significantly now. And he's actually going to take third place. So Gatekeeper, who was running in a comfortable second place, has dropped to last out of the 4 runners we have. Now, Ninja is coming into the pits. Is he going to take a risk onto the intermediate tyres? No, he's switching to the mediums, and he's changed his front wing, so he's obviously sustained damage somewhere. So that leaps Arborwood up into second place. And it puts Gatekeeper back up into the podium positions. But that's... well, it's going to be somewhat close between the two drivers, but it is the McLaren that currently holds third place. With yellow flags out in Sector 1, and Arborwood seemingly crashed out the session, and the safety car has been deployed once more. And that brilliant gap that RK25 has built up has just been slashed in a split second. Ninja has earned himself a time penalty due to track limits. He runs in second place behind the safety car, but it is RK25 who has been in command of this lead ever since he capitalised on Gatekeeper's mistake through the final chicane. But we are down now to 3 drivers with, well, more than half of the race left, so let's hope our 3 drivers can keep it on the island and produce some entertainment from here until the checkered flag. The rain still persists around the circuit of Gilles Villeneuve. It's persisted since the start of this race, and the drivers, though, have not opted for the intermediate nor the wet compound tyres. And you can see why, to be fair, because they've been registering the lap times, but judging by what we can see, it definitely looks wet enough to constitute the use of the intermediates. Now, a lot of emphasis has to be placed on getting the tyres up to temperature behind the safety car, because obviously they're going at slower speed, so they're not generating as much temperature. Also, it's wet, so it's going to be more difficult to generate that temperature, so they're going to have to be working these tyres hard. And for RK25, he's probably having to use a bit more tyre wear than he would have liked, but we know that his speed is prodigious enough to make up for a disadvantage of having to use a bit more tyre wear. But there is a split in strategy between the three drivers. RK25 and Gatekeeper are on the soft compound tyres. Ninja is on the mediums. So, well, we'll have to see which way proves the more optimised, efficient, and just generally better way. But yeah, the safety car will come into the pits once more at the end of this lap, and once more we will be able to get going. RK25 will soon be putting down the power, and we'll have this race underway once more. Weaving from left to right, when does he choose to trigger the throttle and get us going once more? I think he's chosen his moments, has the Aston Martin, and he races away out in front ahead of Ninja and Gatekeeper. We've now completed half distance here at the Canadian Grand Prix for our pre-season race for UFRL. We certainly have some promising drivers in the lineup that, well, could make some headlines come the actual season. We also have a race to complete, and 9 laps of this race remains. Already RK25 has eked out a nearly 2-second gap just after the first sector. The man is on form, the man is on fire, and he has proven every bit of his talents ever since the first lap in qualifying around the Baku City Street circuits earlier tonight. Leads by over 2 seconds from Ninja. Gatekeeper runs in third, just shy of 2 seconds behind the Ferrari. But wow, it's been a demonstration of supremacy from the Aston Martin. Dropped a couple of positions at the start of the race thanks to whatever lap 1 was. Yeah, he's been in a league of his own. He has made this circuit, Gilles Villeneuve, his stage. And no one has come close to stopping him, really. Yes, he did lose the lead, but once the safety car got going after the first restart, he clawed back that deficit and inherited the lead in an instant. It is just a blur. Is that Aston Martin in the hands of RK25. It is dashed around the corners of the circuit, Gilles Villeneuve, and it is lit up the timing boards. Dancing, dazzling on the exits of the corners, pushing the limits of the car. It is a gallery of brilliance. It's a gallery of glamour. It's a gallery of greatness. These challenging conditions are being conquered by the Aston Martin, and every corner he goes through, every straight he rages down, he has asserted his presence on this race, and between these walls, he has been an inspiration. He leads by 5 seconds from UFRL Ninja, who has clobbered the wall and has lost his front wing. Gatekeeper will now take second place. Well, will soon take second place because the Ferrari has lost his front wing and he slots through in 2 seconds. So that would probably confirm the order for this race unless anyone retires from the race. But UFRL Ninja, through the wall of champions, has lost his front wing and has lost second place. Such a shame, as we were deprived of battle for second place. It seemed like Gatekeeper may have been able to take the fight to the Ferrari, but that's not going to happen. That is just not going to happen. Blocking a break, there is RK25. Past the casino hairpin and down this long straight before turn 13 and 14 chicane. Effortlessly composed is that Aston Martin. As he completes 2/3 of this race, he will have at the very least a 10-second lead. Gatekeeper has earned himself another time. Well, actually, I don't think he has a time penalty as of yet, but UFRL Ninja now comes into the pit, and surely he would switch to the softer compound tyres to the end of this race. No, he's going on to the mediums. So he's not trusting that soft compound of tyre to see him through to the end of this race. Normally you'd expect soft to be biting into the tarmac, a more damp, wet tarmac. But no, he's not trusting it. He will rejoin this race half a minute behind our race leader, who himself is 11.5 seconds clear of Gatekeeper. We had 9 drivers starting this race. We lost 3 on the first lap, and since we have lost 3 more, we are down to our final third of the pecking order. We have yellow flags now out in Sector 2, and UFRL Ninja is already... Sure, he had damage to his front wing there. He's done amazing not to, but that has just compounded and dampened what has been quite a dismal race for Ninja. From left to right there, trying to get temperature back into his tyres. But now, almost 2/3 of a minute behind our race leader. He's in a distant 3rd place and not able to challenge for the positions ahead. Ninja has now got himself another time penalty there, another 3-second time penalty for track limits. And it looks like the Ferraris hit the wall. He really is not liking these conditions, and I'm pretty sure we'll be glad to see the checkered flag. And the Ferrari's written off his front wing and will make another trip to the pits, and now he retires from this race. So we're now down to our final 2. Okay, 25 has just over 3 laps left until he can celebrate once more. He took pole position in both races tonight. Looks like he's going to be able to take both wins tonight too. He's 19.5 seconds clear of Gatekeeper, who's running it in a lonely 2nd place. And on lap 16 of 18, the checkered flag nears, and the result of RKA's brilliance is finally written. Let's ride on board with the McLaren at the moment and see how he's faring. Obviously the conditions are not optimal, but let's see if he's struggling on front end. He seems to be putting a decent amount of lock into the corner there. Seems to be applying the power very smoothly, so there is certainly a basis for Gatekeeper to, get strong results from if he is called up to the league, which I hope he is, because he's been keeping out of trouble enough so far to be running in this race. RK25 now has earned himself a time penalty for track limits. So then, this is probably his first mistake he's made all race. Meanwhile, Gatekeeper, I said he's kept out of trouble, but fact is, these track conditions are very challenging, so you can forgive the drivers for making the odd error here and there. But he is now half a minute behind RK25, who with just 2 laps left is just running his own race. He's running at his own pace, and he's going to make it 2 wins out of 2 on this Friday night. I don't believe the McLaren encountered any damage in his spin. Judging by his front wing, he hasn't. So he can hopefully bring it home and secure that 2nd place. But all eyes turn to RKA25, who has one more tour of the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve to complete, and will complete what has been a magnificent performance. One measured by mastery, one filled with, well, utter domination. He's 2/3 of a minute clear of Gatekeeper. And wow, under the horrid conditions, the challenging conditions that the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve has produced, he is driven in such fulminating fashion. He probably should have come into the pits for the intermediate compound tyres, but as long as he can keep it on the island, he will complete what has been a dominant race. See, the rain has fallen that much more now. The drivers are struggling for grip that much more as well, but with just 1 lap left, they don't need to come into the pits. I do apologise, one and all. That is... I have to apologise there to RK25. I was about to compliment him incredibly for what has been a night that has belonged to him, but yep, my apologies everyone. My Xbox has just played me up. So then, I will say that is it for me tonight. We have feasted our eyes upon some brilliant driving, some action, but hopefully we can see some of these drivers make their way into the league for the new season, and hopefully they can tackle the tracks of the world. And well, certainly for drivers like RK25, let's hope he is definitely on that tier 1 list, because he has some serious speed. Gatekeeper as well, another driver, very promising driver that hopefully the league recognises, and the league can be a stage to his success. But that, for me, ladies and gentlemen, is it for me tonight. It has been a pleasure. I hope it's been a good few hours for you two. What's it, coming up to nearly 10 o'clock. So, well, thank you very much for your company. I hope you enjoyed the action tonight. And until the next time the league comes back, I will see you next time.